Alright, so the Nibirus event is alive, and it all has to do with the daughter who now has a spoopy costume. There is, as far as I can tell, no mission or no new quest. However, there's a bunch of Nibirus treats you can buy with mother tokens. A lot of mother tokens. So we start off with something that we already had last year, the Nibirus Ephemera. This is one of the most in-your-face type of ephemeras. It is very, very noticeable, and it's also very, very nice. Then you can also buy the Plague Aquin, Plague Bokwin, Plague Kripeth, and Plague Kiwar blueprints. So you can make yourself a lovely Plague Zor with an 8 vital damage. Then we have some Day of the Dead skins, starting off with the Gram Day of the Dead skin, which looks quite fantastic, if I may say so myself. As well as the Buzzmoo Day of the Dead skin, which looks very sleek. It's not as bombastic as the Gram one, but it still looks really nice. Now to complete your Zors, you can also buy yourself Exodia Contagion, as well as Exodia Epidemic. Those are the 2 arcanes that will fit on Zors. And then we have some glyphs. We have the Grave Skull Nibirus glyph, a Rotting Nibirus glyph, and Stink Eye Nibirus glyph. All 3 of these are absolutely fantastic. I love them, and they're also very cheap. They're 20 mother tokens a pop, so you can get them very easily. Then we actually have a color palette, the Hallows E, for 125 mother tokens, and this has some seriously nice colors in it. Plus, it's one of the very few color palettes that you can actually get for free, so definitely don't forget to pick this one up. It will be, at least a year before it comes back again. Following that, we have the Day of the Dead Voidrek skin, because, you can never have enough skulls. Then we also have the Grim Grin Nibirus Sigil for just 5 mother tokens. Then there is the Whispering Nibirus Mobile, and this is actually a decoration you can place in your landing craft and interact with to get a story from Grandmother, and I'll be playing the story at the end of the video. And the final item on the menu is the Spinneret Ephemera. Now make sure that you don't have a dark energy color on your attachment when you equip this ephemera, otherwise it's going to be pretty much invisible. And what it does is it basically just covers your Warframe in cobwebs, and if you're running around or moving around, the cobwebs will be dangling behind you. And that is pretty much it for all the stuff you can buy from Daughter, so I will now leave you with the story you get when you interact with the decoration you can buy from her. So I thank you very much for watching, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you some other time. Bye-bye.
Would you like to hear a story for Naberus? One that I told my grandchildren when they were small. Very well. Long ago, in the Orokin days, a golden people lived in spoiled luxury. If a body wore out, why? They would take a new one as easily as plucking a maprico. Such was the mystery of the Kuva. So, what became of death and disease? Oh, they were abundant, but not for the Orokin. They were above petty death. Such was their contempt that they decreed a special day on which to make fun of it. On Naberus, the night of memory, the shining people laughed at death. They dressed in costumes that recalled the old days of mortality. Skulls grinned, hallways guttered with demon lights. For one night, beauty was banished, rot and monstrosity held sway. Now, on one very special Naberus, 3 pretty Orokin were bored, as Orokin so often were. Naberus no longer holds its magic for me, sighed one. Masks and costumes are for children, grumbled another. Why follow the crowd, mused the third. Are we not the very elite of the elite? Ha ha! Up, my Kissingtons, my luscious loves. Send for blue Kuva and hot lights. I have a sport that will mend all. And in the corridor, behind a curtain, a solitary silent girl heard them and said nothing. Then the 3 were very wicked. For what do you think they did? Down into the streets they went, and they caught 3 poor ostrons and bore them back to their gilded halls. One they peeled like a fruit and decked out with glassy splinters, and his naked jaws went chitter-chatter-snap. And it echoed all around, scarlet footprints he left. Another's limbs they twisted and wrenched his neck, and made a bundle of him until he scuttled upsy-downsy like a horrid crab, with his sockets all empty and his stretched-out nose snuffling. The third they pulled thin in hand and foot. She walked spindly-wise on long tiptoes like a spider, and her entrails hung delicately down. She whispered, split-tongued and hissing as she went. "Fine costumes we've made," chortled the three Orokin. "Let us now try them on and visit our friends. What shrieking there will be! Oh, our names will live forever in the court for such a prank as this." Now, the silent girl brought them their blue couver, so they could take on these twisted bodies for only a short time before returning to their own. They drank and slept and woke in their three horrid forms. Off they went down the stairs, out the door, into the city, into the night of banners and masks and wild hilarity. Chitter-chatter-snap, scuttle-buttle, whispery-hispery. As you can imagine, there were many screams and laughs. Such cleverness, such wit. But in a high room of the tower, the silent girl looked at the faces of the three sleeping Orokin. She went and opened a little ivory door that she was not supposed to know about, and drew forth a flask that she would have been glassed for even looking at. A flask of crimson couver, the scarlet seal upon continuity, permanent. And she tipped it down three cruel throats. With a little laugh, she went skating away, never to return. There were many screams that Naberus night, but when the sun came up, none screamed so loud as the three who found that they were trapped in the hideous bodies they themselves had fashioned for ever and ever. So, listen carefully, Tenno, and beware, for you may hear them coming tonight. Whispery-hispery on long stalking bones, scuttle-buttle with his eyes all empty, and skinless, dripping-handed, chitter-chatter-snap. Happy Naberus!